Thank you for tuning in. This is UFC 143 predictions and breakdowns. I'm Julian Chavez. This is the man right here, Diamond D. And we're just going to go over the 3 top fights for this UFC 143 event, starting with Josh Koscheck and Mike Pierce. Tell us what you think about this fight, D.
Well, they're both very good wrestlers. Both have very good power. Josh Koscheck's been on a tear. Mike Pierce has been on a tear. I think it's going to be a stand-up war. Nobody's going to want to take anybody down. Yes. My opinion, I think Josh Koscheck with the experience is going to take Mike Pierce. Mike Pierce, working up his ranks, but in my opinion, not ready for the top 10.
True.
Josh Koscheck, not really a huge fan, but he is an excellent fighter, excellent wrestler, and I think he's going to take it.
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Mike Pierce, coming up, he's undefeated right now in the UFC. He has whooped on John Finch. They showed that, and he just wants to step up with the big guys. And I think Josh Koscheck, he called him out, and he just wanted to fight him. And Josh Koscheck, you know what? I get pumped up when people talk shit. This is a guy I want to beat down now, and Josh Koscheck wants to beat this guy to show that, hey, Josh Koscheck's still there for the race for the title belt. So also I'm gonna go with Josh Koscheck. So that's 2 for 2 right there.
Josh Koscheck.
So yeah, Josh Koscheck for that fight. The next fight we will break down for you is a fight that no one has even introduced in the commercials.
Which I'm surprised actually.
Which I'm really surprised because this is the first fight in the UFC for Fabricio Verdum. So we got Roy Nelson versus Fabricio Verdum, his comeback into the UFC. How do you see this fight, D?
Both excellent jiu-jitsu guys. You see Fabricio Verdum tap in Fedor Emelianenko.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know. Roy Nelson is an excellent jiu-jitsu guy. That guy is a legit black belt.
Yes.
He doesn't show it in there in the UFC, because, he likes to, land you ground and pound or stand up and bang. He does have a lot of power, which does Fabricio Verdum. I think, they're both, I think actually you're going to want to take it to the ground, actually. Verdum's going to, try to take, Roy Nelson down. He has excellent takedown defense. But just like, in my opinion, with the Roy Nelson and... I
think that's about it, huh?
That's about it. Roy Nelson.
Same thing here. I'm not going to lie.
Big country.
Big
Built Roy Tough.
Big Roy Tough. Watch out for that t-shirt coming out.
Team Punishment.
Team Punishment. But also, this fight... Heavyweight fight. Fabricio Verdum's come back to the UFC to fight Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson has lost against Dos Santos. He lost,
nothing but the best in the division.
Nothing but the best. So he has to beat somebody to just jump back up there. And who else to beat but Fabricio Verdum, the man that beat the man, Fedor Emelianenko. You beat a guy who beat Fedor. You're back up there in the ranks. So I think I'm gonna go with.
Coming to that, a lot of people, say, oh, Fedor is getting old.
Mm-hmm.
You beat Fedor.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You beat Fedor.
You beat Fedor.
It doesn't matter how old he is. A lot of people say the same thing with Randy Couture. Randy Couture is the best of all time.
Yeah.
Does not matter. It's Fedor Emelianenko. That's a big win for him.
That's a big win.
But, Roy Nelson, I think, is going to take it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree. Roy Nelson will take this. He's just going to go there. He has a lot of fire in his heart. Never gives up. He's just going to take it. He's not going to stop.
It's going to be a war. It's going to be a war.
It's going to be a good war. It's going to be a good technical war for a heavyweight fight. Last fight of the night for UFC 143, the main event of the evening. Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit.
All right, son.
This is it. This is the fight not everybody has been waiting for, but just something just to show that, hey, Nick is there to win the title and to fight St. Pierre, so why not to prove it and beat Carlos Condit? Let me get your take on this fight.
It's a very tough fight for me. Carlos Condit's coming from the WEC. Former champion from there, was on a tear. The only loss he had in there was his first fight in the UFC. This guy's beat top names in the sport all his whole career. Nick Diaz is just pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Excellent boxing.
I think so, yeah.
Excellent jiu-jitsu. But Carlos Condit's the same thing. It's pretty much just fighting in a mirror. Carlos Condit, excellent kickboxing, excellent wrestling. Jiu-jitsu is top notch off his back. It's going to be a straight war. I actually think, in my opinion, it's a better fight than George St. Pierre.
A way better fight.
A way better fight. A lot of people are just overlooking it because they want to see the fight so bad between Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre, which I do also. But in my opinion, it's still gonna be one of the fights of the year. Guarantee it.
It is. All right.
Guarantee.
Now, Nick Diaz is coming in out of Strikeforce, smashes on BJ Penn, which everybody's like, oh yeah, BJ Penn, he still got it, blah 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 blah. But just after the first round, smashes BJ Penn, takes him apart, and St. Pierre gets sidelined with ACL, torn ACL, messed up knee, going to surgery right now, and Nick just wants the belt. He just wants to fight and win. Carlos Condit was supposed to fight Josh Koscheck, but St. Pierre's out. Now they're gonna fight against each other. Carlos Condit, he is, like you said, a great kickboxer. Got hands, got a chin, got a chin at that. And Nick, for once, he hits hard. He hits hard, very unorthodox punches, but they come in bunches. And he will not stop. He pushes forward. And that's the problem that's going to be for Carlos Condit, because Carlos Condit is the man to push forward, push the pace, but Nick also does the same thing. So if you get Nick to push the pace more than Carlos Condit is screwed. That's screwed out of the game. And Carlos Condit, I don't think he's going to take him to the ground. I don't think he's going to take Nick to the ground. I think Nick can tap him out easily. He will take his time on the ground and get Carlos Condit. Stand up, I think Nick has a longer reach, has a better combination in boxing. He will push the pace more, and a lot of people don't realize that, hey, it's they're not hitting each other, blah blah, but it's octagon control. It's pushing the pace. Who's an aggressive fighter? Judges look at that. So I think Nick has all the above to do all that. So I'm gonna have to go with Nick Diaz with the W, going all 5 rounds via unanimous decision. That's what I have to go with.
I have to disagree with you a little bit. Carlos Condit, he's an excellent guy on the ground. I think it's going to be really hard. If they do take it to the ground, it's going to be hard for him to submit. It's going to be, just a straight scrambling war if they're just going to be on the ground.
Okay.
But the overwhelming boxing of, Nick Diaz is going to be too much. It's very hard to prepare for guys like Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz.
Yes.
That boxing is very...
Yes.
You've seen it in a Donald Cerrone fight with Nate Diaz.
Yes.
Donald Cerrone, one of the best 155-pounders in the world, especially strikers in the UFC, did not know what he looked like he was doing.
Ridiculous.
And I think Nick Diaz is going to be overwhelmed. Carlos Condit. Nick Diaz decision.
Nick Diaz decision. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you just got the breakdown for the top 3 fights of the card. You got our breakdowns of each fight and our predictions. Like I said, Koscheck for both. 2 for 2 for Koscheck. The Roy Nelson fight, you got 2 for 2 for Roy Nelson. And last but not least, you got 2 for 2 for Nick Diaz. And if you're not listening to us and betting on those fights, then you're a fucking idiot. Okay? So listen to us. Just because I have a fucking beard doesn't mean I don't know what I'm fucking talking about.
All right. So remember to subscribe below. We're going to be doing this every week, every fight time now.
Every fight time.
If you guys are, fighters that want to get, local fighters want to get on the show, want sponsors want to get your name out there, we'll interview you. Just click the link below. We'll put the Facebooks, Twitter. We are always on Twitter.
We always on Twitter. We get Twitter bitches.
4 a.m. in the morning. Tweeting.
All right, man.
Have a good day.
See you guys later.